The WNBA handed a Jordan-level face of their league and spit in her face that people bought lower bowl tickets weeks before for an average of $393, but on the resale market they fell to $20. And minutes before the game, tickets were selling at $7 a pop.
The WNBA made one critical mistake. It didn't give Caitlin Clark the recognition she had earned from day one. And the fallout was immediate. Sponsors pulled back. Fans lost interest. The league shifted into full-blown panic mode while Clark, ironically, kept rising higher without needing them.
Yes, I mean, I think share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. I think you should look at it in absolute numbers in terms of what they're making.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to...
Because while the WNBA scrambled to repair the damage, Caitlin Clark was racking up sponsor deal after sponsor deal, proving exactly who the true face of women's basketball is right now. Drop a comment saying Clark effect if you already know the league can't survive without her. Just look at the numbers from the moment she stepped into the WNBA. Arenas were suddenly packed. TV ratings shattered years worth of league records. Games featuring Caitlin Clark averaged 1.18 million viewers, nearly 3 times the typical audience the WNBA was used to. Merchandise sales jumped more than 500% across the league. Her jersey, her Nike collection, instant top sellers. One rookie did what the league had been waiting decades for.
This is before the playoffs, but obviously the regular season views way up, and no surprise, these were the most viewed games last year, 14 to the 16.
But the problem started when the attention wasn't consistent. Anytime Clark wasn't playing, viewership fell off a cliff. Ratings plummeted. Empty seats popped up everywhere she wasn't. Media coverage evaporated the second her name wasn't included.
In sales, out WNBA star Caitlin Clark's shoes, comparison to Kobe Bryant sneakers.
And here's where it gets serious. Sponsors pay attention to patterns, not feelings. They don't operate on loyalty. They operate on numbers. And the pattern couldn't be more obvious. The WNBA's growth is tied to Caitlin Clark, not the league as a whole. Executives know it, fans know it, sponsors definitely know it. The second she steps away, everything loses value. And here's what makes this even more dangerous. Sponsors aren't openly criticizing the league. They're being strategic, quiet, calculated. Instead of announcing pullouts, they're slowly shifting money away from league-wide partnerships and redirecting those resources to Caitlin Clark alone.
With sponsor is getting ahead of the game. She has signed with financial services company.
Brands that once invested in big WNBA campaigns now pour their entire budget into Clark's global influence.
From Iowa. But now it's my turn to inspire. If I can drop 40, you can drop.
Nike isn't focused on broad WNBA promotion. They're focused on her. Food and beverage brands are doing the same. Insurance companies, streaming platforms, lifestyle brands, everyone is turning toward Clark. They've seen the numbers. They understand what the league refuses to say out loud. No player in women's basketball has ever driven engagement like Caitlin Clark.
There she is, the woman of the hour, Caitlin Clark, arriving to Pelican Golf Club outside Tampa earlier this morning to compete in the Annika driven by...
Meanwhile, campaigns featuring other stars are quietly fading out. Some sponsors aren't even renewing their league contracts. They're waiting for a chance to sign Clark directly. This isn't a boycott. It's a shift. A slow, deliberate realignment of value. Just watch how the media reacts to her presence.
Literally, pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. We have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
When Caitlin Clark is on the court, she dominates every sports desk in the country. Highlights lead broadcasts. Talk show hosts debate every play. Clips of her games trend instantly. Brands get millions of impressions simply for being near her.
Yes, I mean, I think share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. I think you should look at it in absolute numbers.
But when she's not playing, silence. Entire segments that ran weekly last season have completely disappeared. Even podcasts promising regular WNBA content go dark unless Clark is mentioned. Social media activity around the league drops steeply until her name resurfaces. And the numbers support it. Nationally televised WNBA viewership fell around 55% after her injury. Indiana games alone dropped roughly 53%. No sponsor can ignore a crash like that. If broadcasters only care when Clark is active, sponsors learn a simple truth. The league cannot guarantee meaningful visibility without her. Companies don't want unpredictability. they want certainty. And Caitlin Clark is the only consistent factor the WNBA has.
Can you believe that the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, wrote an article called How We Did It about last year? And here's what she said. By nearly every metric, 2024 was a standout year. As transcendent rookies, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink entered the league. Regular season games drew an average of 1.2 million viewers, up 170% from the previous season. Our All-Star game brought an all-time high of 3.4 million. Yeah, she mentions Caitlin's name 2 times in the entire article, and both times she says Caitlin Clark.
Inside league offices, they know exactly how dangerous this is. They know Clark is carrying the league's momentum and that what she brings can't be replaced by a committee of stars. Relying heavily on one player is risky. One injury, one controversy, one misstep, everything could fall apart. This is why there's more tension inside the WNBA than ever before. They need Clark as the face of the league, but they also need the rest of the players to feel respected. That's the exact reason Adam Silver hesitated when discussing revenue sharing. The league is terrified of revealing what percentage of its current success is tied to Clark's influence. They want the money she brings, but they fear admitting the power she holds. This internal pressure cooker grows hotter every day. And to be clear, none of this means other players aren't talented or deserving. Many WNBA athletes work incredibly hard and have earned visibility. But industries don't operate on fairness. They operate on demand. Entertainment history proves it. Jordan lifted the NBA. Serena elevated tennis. Tiger Woods transformed golf. Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, Megan Rapinoe. Every sport has a generational figure who shifts the entire landscape. Right now, Caitlin Clark is that figure. It doesn't diminish others. It simply reflects reality. She's the one whose popularity has crossed into mainstream culture. No marketing team spreads attention evenly when the data clearly points toward one star. Companies follow the audience. And Clark is the one audiences respond to. Inside the league, the reactions are split. Some players welcome the boost, understanding that new fans and fresh sponsor dollars help everyone. Others feel overshadowed, believing their achievements are being buried under Clark's spotlight. Sponsors notice the tension. They watch closely when players express frustration or hint at internal conflict. Companies don't want to invest in an environment where the most valuable star feels mistreated, or where the league pushes against its own momentum. So sponsors do what they always do when uncertainty rises. They avoid risk. They wait. They invest directly in Caitlin Clark instead, because she delivers guaranteed results. Millions already know her story from her Iowa days. The WNBA, by comparison, offers inconsistency. Attendance varies by city. Ratings swing wildly based on matchups. Clark doesn't fluctuate. Her Gatorade, You Can campaign hit too.
I was once that little Iowa girl who was inspired to dream big.
2 million views, becoming the brand's most watched social video. Her interviews and branded content routinely outperform the league itself. She delivers more visibility on her own than the WNBA provides as a whole. That's why sponsors go to her first. But this puts the league in a nearly impossible situation. If they push her too hard, other players feel ignored. If they don't push her enough, sponsors close their wallets. Treat her like every other player, and the league loses momentum. Treat her like the centerpiece, and internal backlash grows. No matter what the WNBA chooses, someone is unhappy, and every misstep hits the bottom line. The truth is simple. The WNBA has leaned too heavily on Caitlin Clark to drive attendance, merchandise sales, TV deals, and cultural relevance. And if she ever steps away, or if the hype fades, there is no backup plan. Sponsors aren't leaving women's basketball. They're betting on the one investment they can trust. Without Clark, arenas empty, ratings collapse, and the league's momentum stalls. The future of the WNBA depends on how they navigate this moment. Embrace Clark, protect all their stars, rebuild trust, or risk watching the entire system break apart.